From comfort zone to growth zone without burnout. Welcome to your daily hit of grace and grit, your quick dose of inspiration to kickstart your day. This show is proudly sponsored by Rumble and Rise. To find out more about joining Rumble and Rise, head on over to graceandgrit.com/ready to rumble. I'm Courtney Townley, and here is today's hit. You don't have to choose between staying stuck and burning out. There's a middle ground, and it's called the stretch zone. It's where growth happens without destruction. If you've read my book, The Consistency Code, you've heard me refer to this as your state of whelm, which is actually not my phrase. It's a phrase I stole from Susan David, the author of Emotional Agility. And your state of whelm is the stretch zone. It's the space where you're not underwhelmed or overwhelmed. You're simply engaged. So here's a skill that I highly encourage you to learn, which is to recognize the difference between discomfort and harm, because they are not the same thing. Discomfort is your heart rising during a workout. Harm is ignoring an injury to the point of really hurting yourself even further. Discomfort is awkwardness in a conversation about boundaries. Harm is tolerating abuse because you don't want to make someone else uncomfortable or rock the boat. The stretch zone asks you to try something new. It invites you into discomfort, but not at the expense of your well-being. It is progressive, not punishing. So I want to give you a framework that you can kind of work with here. Pick one area where you want to grow. And because in this podcast, we talk a lot about health and happiness, I would encourage you to try selecting an area along your health journey where you really want to grow. Maybe you want to get better at lifting weights. You want to learn how to eat a more nutritious diet, or maybe you want to learn how to meditate or jump rope or do handstands. It could be a million things. Now ask yourself 3 questions once you decide what that thing is. What would feel slightly uncomfortable but doable in this area? What support or structure do I need to try this safely? How will I know if I've crossed from the stretch zone into the strain zone, which is where harm happens? So maybe it's adding 10 minutes to your walk rather than signing up for a half marathon tomorrow. That's your stretch zone. Maybe it's speaking up more in meetings at work rather than deciding to do a TED Talk in the next month. Growth does not require suffering. It does require intentionality. It requires you to honor both your ambition and your limits. That's not weakness. That, my friends, is wisdom. And it's the only sustainable way to become the woman you want to be. The most vibrant and fully expressed version of you. If this stirred something inside of you, imagine what a whole book of clarity and courage could ignite. The Consistency Code, a Midlife Woman's Guide to Deep Health and Happiness, goes even deeper into the mindset and practices that create real, meaningful change at midlife. Grab your copy today over at theconsistencycode.com and keep the momentum alive.